The strange thing is not that medieval people drank dirty water. The strange thing is that in many places they didn't. In 2019, archaeologists in England opened a stone-lined well sealed in 1485. It had been untouched since the Wars of the Roses. No pumps, no filters, no chemicals. The water inside was tested, and it was still drinkable. Not symbolic, not ceremonial, actually potable. Meanwhile, bottled water in your pantry grows bacteria once opened. Municipal systems develop biofilm inside pipes within months. Plastic leaches chemicals after a few hours in the sun. A well dug by peasants with hand tools, outperformed infrastructure designed by engineers with graduate degrees. That should bother you, because it means something important was understood, then quietly abandoned. This isn't nostalgia, it's engineering. And once you see why medieval wells stayed clean, modern water systems start to look less advanced and more fragile. The reason medieval wells stayed clean starts with stone, not superstition. Medieval wells were not crude holes in the ground. They were carefully engineered vertical systems lined with selected stone, usually limestone or sandstone, stacked using dry stone construction. No mortar, no sealants. The stones were cut to fit tightly enough to support the shaft, but loosely enough to allow controlled seepage. That seepage mattered. Water didn't rush in. It percolated slowly through mineral surfaces that actively altered its chemistry. Limestone raised pH slightly into alkaline ranges that inhibit bacterial growth. This is not folklore. Modern studies show water stored against limestone maintains dramatically lower bacterial counts than water stored in plastic or metal. Stone also does something modern materials cannot. It breathes. Tiny gaps between stones allow microcirculation, keeping water oxygenated just enough to prevent anaerobic bacterial colonies from forming. Concrete and plastic liners seal wells completely. The result is stagnation and biofilm. Once biofilm forms, chemical treatment becomes a losing battle. Medieval wells prevented the problem instead of reacting to it. Depth turned medieval wells into, permanent cold storage. Most medieval wells were far deeper than people assume, 30 to 100 feet was common, and some went even deeper. This was not guesswork. Builders understood that shallow water spoiled faster. Below roughly 20 feet, ground temperature stabilizes year-round. In temperate climates, that's about 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold water slows bacterial reproduction dramatically. E. coli that doubles every 20 minutes at body temperature may take more than a day to double at well depth. Multiply that effect over weeks and months, and, honestly, you get something close to dormancy. Medieval wells were natural refrigerators. No energy input, no moving parts. Modern water systems pull from surface reservoirs or shallow aquifers, then attempt to chemically compensate for warmth and contamination. Natural filtration worked because, medieval builders let the earth do the work. Water reaching a deep well passes through layers of soil, clay, sand, gravel and rock. Each layer removes contaminants, both mechanically and chemically. Clay, for instance, binds bacteria through electrical charge. Sand, on the other hand, traps parasites and organic matter. And gravel, it slows the flow and allows settling. By the time water reaches a deep aquifer, most pathogens are gone simply because they could not survive the journey. Modern hydrogeology, confirms this. Every 10 feet of soil removes the vast majority of bacteria. Medieval builders didn't know the science, but they certainly knew the outcome. They avoided surface water. Material choices mattered as much as depth. Medieval wells avoided materials that modern systems, rely on. No plastic, minimal iron, no treated wood, no copper pipes. Stone does not corrode. It does not leach chemicals, and it does not provide a surface that biofilm can easily anchor to. When wood was used, it was often oak, selected specifically for its tannin content. You see, tannins are antimicrobial. Excavated medieval oak well linings often show less decay after centuries than modern treated lumber shows after just a few decades. Compare that to plastic pipes that shed microplastics, steel casings that rust internally, and copper plumbing that develops uneven corrosion within months. Modern water infrastructure introduces contamination at every stage after treatment. Medieval wells did not. Medieval wells were social systems as much as physical ones. Wells had protected zones, no waste dumping nearby, no animals allowed close, no digging that might disrupt underground flow. Many villages appointed a well keeper with authority to enforce these rules. Wells were inspected and cleaned regularly. Use was often scheduled to prevent overdraw and allow recharge. These days, modern private wells are frequently ignored until, they fail. Municipal systems, on the other hand, run constantly, drawing water faster than aquifers can recover. Once contamination enters, it spreads across thousands of households instantly. Back in medieval times, wells failed locally and slowly. But, modern systems fail at scale. Modern water goes bad because it depends on chemistry instead of structure. Chlorination kills bacteria, but it does not preserve water. Chlorine dissipates. Biofilm survives. Pipes corrode. And, chemical byproducts form. When water reaches your tap, it has already been exposed to miles of degradation. Medieval well water never left its protected environment. It was filtered once and stayed filtered. No recontamination loop existed. That is the difference. Passive systems last. Active systems demand constant intervention. So, what this still means today for people who care about resilience is, actually rather important. The lesson here isn't to abandon modern infrastructure altogether. Instead, it's to recognize what was lost over time. Depth, stone, natural filtration, material discipline and community oversight. These were the things that created water systems lasting for centuries with, honestly, just minimal maintenance. Those principles, they still apply. Modern builders could, in fact, integrate them into their designs. But, truth be told, most don't. The medieval well, it stayed clean for 500 years because, well, it worked with nature, not against it. If this has, in any way, changed how you think about water and progress, go ahead and subscribe to the Wartime Frontlines. We cover the systems that kept people alive long before modern convenience, you see. And do share this with someone who assumes older always meant worse.